Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A, and without further ado, let's get started, shall we? With the very first question from Michelle Hudgens. Hi Minnie, love your videos, thank you. If I wanted to get something hot stamped that I already own, can I bring it to any boutique or are there specific places for that purpose? You can pretty much take it into any boutique. I know that if it's a freestanding store and it's a little bit more of a popular store, you have a better chance of getting your item hot stamped right then and there. Although sometimes they have a longer wait line because, like I said before, it is a popular boutique. But the smaller boutiques or the ones that are inside of larger department stores tend to have 1 to 2 people that are able to do the hot stamping, and they might ask you to leave your item there until the person comes back because they're either off or they're at lunch or something like that, or they will just say, you know, leave your item, pick it up later and stuff like that. So if you wanted to get your item hot stamped as soon as possible, or you have a better chance of getting it done that day, I would say a larger boutique or a larger freestanding store versus a smaller store inside of a department store. I said store like a million times there. Okay. Love Affair, my very good friend. Hey, Minnie. As always, being a loyal Minks Monday watcher, I never post my questions, so I have a few. Number 1, does the smell of leather attract Edward Phillip? Bella always smells my Speedy 30. For those of you that don't know, Edward Phillip is my beloved dog, the apple of my eye. And if it's a brand new bag and I set it on the couch, if I set it on that table behind me or on the couch or on the ottoman, he will come over and kind of take a whiff, but he doesn't really linger. So I mean, it's kind of a good thing because I don't want I don't want his wet nose getting all over the Vachetta. But no, he doesn't really, I think initially he likes it, and then after that he could really care less. He's more interested in his toys. Okay, number 2, regarding smells. In a past Minks Monday, you talked about a fishy smell. Is that normal? I know I have not had this problem. I know a few of my friends, as well as fellow YouTubers, were having problems with getting new pieces from the boutiques that had a very funky smell, like she said, a fishy smell. Some of them also complained and said that it's more like a mothball smell. The only thing that I can think of, because most of the people that had this problem were people that were looking at Speedies, and the only thing that I can think of really is the fact that they revamped the Speedy. So maybe it's the new varnishing, maybe it's the new chemical, or maybe it has to do with something that they added to the Speedy, because until recently I have only been hearing about this. If you guys have had problems with this type of smell in the past, let me know in the comments down below. But I can't think of exactly what it is. Maybe another thing could be if the bag is stored for too long, like if they have a shipment maybe and they leave it in a box. I don't know. I don't have a straight answer for you guys, but I would really, really like to know if someone came to the bottom of it and found out exactly what was going on with the smell. So if you guys know, again, let me know in the comments down below. We would all appreciate it. Okay, and number 3, what is on your current wish list? I think it's safe to say the Louis Vuitton Empriente clay. I have been thinking about it and thinking about it. And I don't know why I didn't buy it when I was in Paris. I had it in my hot little hand and I just didn't get it. It wasn't something that was, I don't know, who knows? But I know that I've been looking at I want to kind of venture out into different brands. I want to have a different, I don't know, a different variety. I've been looking at maybe another Celine. I've just been obsessed with Celine lately, or ever since I purchased mine. And I don't know, there's something about it. You guys were so right to be asking me questions in previous Minks Mondays. There is something about the bag. And while I didn't find it attractive in the beginning, especially like the mini luggage, I don't know, there's there's something that my eye is drawn to it, and maybe it's because there's a fine line between love and hate. I don't know. I hated it before. I didn't like it before, and now I absolutely love it. So who knows? Another one is Yves Saint Laurent. I really want to go look at the monogram clutch that they have, or maybe getting not the clutch, the handbag that they have, or a clutch from them. I really want to get an SLG, namely a wallet, or in specific a wallet would be great. What else? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have something that's just, I have to have it, but at the same time, I've been looking at a lot of other brands. So I don't know what I'm going to get. Who knows? I'll probably end up going to Louis Vuitton. But I'm on Ban Island, so I can't really buy anything. At least I'm trying to be really, really good. And I know my very good friend Lori on Instagram, she just had a massive, I mean, jaw-droppingly huge haul from Chanel. And I know my girl Miss BB Love got something from Chanel, and she also got something from Louis Vuitton. And it's just, it's very hard to be on Ban Island when you see people with their brand new goodies. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just all of us. But congrats to those ladies. And I don't know. I'm trying to be good. Okay, next one. Susan Smith. Hi, Minnie. Hello. So in regards, your limit for canvas purses, what do you think about the Retiro NM with cowhide trimmings? Would you still consider it too expensive, or would you make an exception because of the leather trimmings? As beautiful as the Retiro NM or new model is, I can appreciate it. I still don't, it's not a bag for me. It currently retails for how much is it? $21.10 here in the States, if I'm not mistaken. And it seems to have a little bit less leather trimmings than the older version, or than the PM version, but it's still, I don't know, it's not for me. I know my very good friend MS Panders 10, she recently purchased one, and she's been photographing it to death on Instagram. It's a beautiful bag. And I really prefer the Noir versus the Vachetta one, or the regular monogram one, because to me it looks like that leather on the Noir it's a little bit more luxurious than the plain Vachetta. But I still, no, I could not make an exception. And the only bag really that is within the $2,000 price range as far as monogram goes, and even then it's only $40 less than $2,000, is the Artsy. I don't know what it is about that bag, but it's just the silhouette alone I absolutely love. Oh, wait, before I forget. So I was at the boutique maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. And when I was talking to my essay, oh my God, I'm so excited. I can hardly contain myself. When I was talking to my essay, he brought out the book that shows all the new launches, or the new releases for July, all the way until the end of the year. And are you ready? They are coming out with a bag. He said that they might change the name. It's called the Hobo. It is extremely similar to an Artsy, only it's Damier Ebene. How freaking cool is that? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. He kept showing me, some of their Christmas collection that's coming out. But this Hobo bag is coming out in July or August. And I am so, so excited to see it. So maybe that's the next one on my wish list. Sorry, I totally went on a different tangent. But it just, oh man, it looked gorgeous. I can't wait to hold it in my hand. So I actually had him put me on the list to see if, when they get it in, I could take a look at it. Or maybe I'll purchase it. I don't know. But as far as the price on it, I think it was a little over $2,000 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I don't remember. But yeah. So maybe that's the next thing on my wish list. But I thought I'd share that with you guys since we were talking about the Retiro and the $2,000 limit and whatnot. Okay, next question. T4Me10 Silly question. There's no such thing as a silly question. What photo app do you use on Instagram that looks like sparkly things? In general, what are your favorite photo apps? Your Instagram photos are always beautiful. Thank you. It used to be called Line Camera, and now it's called Alice, something like that. AILLIS. And that's my favorite. It's a free app, and I really like it because you guys know, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, she's right. I like to put the little sparkly things because, come on, I like sparkles. But that's pretty much the only photo app I use. I have quite a few apps on my phone, but they're more like, they're just random things, really. It's nothing fun, but that's the only photo app. But thank you. I appreciate your kind comment about my pictures. I actually had someone once upon a time complain about my pictures. She said, your pictures look exactly the same. They all look the same. Why do you have them all looking the same? She kept saying that over and over. And I'm just like, because it's my Instagram. I can do whatever I want. I just thought it was funny because if you guys do follow me, you'll know that my pictures tend to have a little bit of a pattern. Okay, Robin Russell, are you still loving your Celine? What's your thoughts on it? I'm still debating. Okay, so as I said earlier, ever since I purchased my Celine Phantom, I have a new appreciation for the brand. And I'm actually currently using my Phantom right here. Quite large, and I still love it, and I cannot wait to do a review on it because I'm gonna say something in that review. I already know it. I kind of have it in the back of my mind that is going to make so much sense when I talk about it, but I still love it. And my thoughts on it, I think it's a great bag. I think it has massive luxury to it. However, it is heavy. It is a heavy bag. I don't have forklifts for forearms, but it's a heavy bag. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's not like, oh, this is the lightest bag ever. No way. It is probably the heaviest bag that I have in my collection. But besides that, I am in love with that bag. So I say, if you're thinking about it, go for it. Okay, Red Mahmood. Hey, Minnie, after how many days do you change the bag that you are currently using, and how do you decide which one to use next? Also, if you consider some low-end brand, which is actually amazing quality. As far as changing my bag, well, I was actually carrying my Pochette Métis for quite a bit, actually 2 weeks. Some days actually went really compact, but you know, I for the most part used it for a solid 2 weeks, except, like I said, with the exception of a few days here and there. But I really look at the weather. If it's going to rain, obviously I know I'm not going to bring something out with Vachetta. Is it spring and summer and the seasons? Obviously I pay attention to that, but I mean, the Celine is a black bag, so normally most people, I think, would wear it in the fall and the winter, but currently I'm using it now, and it is spring, so it all depends upon what I want to use. If it's a bag that I haven't really brought out in my rotation, then I will start using that. I can tell you the next bag that I will be using, watch it totally change by the time I do this video, but it will be my Alma PM in the color Vernis Cerise, because I haven't used it in a little bit, and it's supposed to be getting pretty hot, probably around the low 90s where I live. So I can get away with that bag, and I don't have to worry about rain. I don't have to worry about anything like that. And it will really just add a pop to any outfit that I have. So it all depends on the mood, to be honest, or what I want to bring out. And also, if you consider some low-end brand, which has amazing quality. You know, I think there are 2 brands that are a little less, they're on the less expensive side, and I would have to say Marc Jacobs. Even though I do not like the lining, I'm not a big fan of the Marc Jacobs lining handbags or wallets or anything like that. I think the leather is absolutely fantastic. I'm kind of a fiend for the lining. If the lining of a bag or wallet is kind of funky, that's a major turnoff for me for whatever reason. But Marc Jacobs, their leather is just exquisite, and I absolutely love the way the leather smells. And another one, I'd have to say Tory Burch for smaller clutches and shoes. I really, really like Tory Burch. Sometimes their shoes are not as comfortable as some people would think. Some people are just like, oh my God, they're the worst shoes ever because they're so uncomfortable. But beside the fact that they might be uncomfortable, the leather is fantastic. It is phenomenal. So I think those two are the ones that I really have an appreciation for. And I used to have a bunch of Marc Jacobs bags, but I ended up selling them. Like I've talked about before, that Groovy Satchel is my favorite. My favorite. I don't know. I like it so much. Okay, next one. Melissa Bailey, do you have a designer sunglass collection? If so, can you do a video on your collection, please? I'm obsessed with handbags, sunglasses, and watches. I do have somewhat of a sunny collection, a designer sunny collection. Yeah, I don't see why I shouldn't do a video. So I think I'll be doing it within the next couple of weeks. So make sure and look out for that. You guys will, they're pretty much all the same color. I don't like to venture out into really funky colors because I don't know. It's just the way that I am. Okay. Is Azul, some questions for Q&As. Number one, what do you think about the Pashley satchel from Philip Lim? I don't like it. The reason why I don't like it is because it's such a small bag, and I feel it has way too much going on with the zippers and the front buckle, and it seems like for as small as it is, there's way too much going on. It's not something that I would ever think about purchasing again because of the structure of it, but it's a very small bag, and I'm not digging on it, no. Okay, number two. I would love to watch a review and your comments about how it's going with the Celine. Well, as you know, the Celine is still in my collection. I had a few of you ask me what's going on, but I am still very much in love with the bag. So I cannot wait to do a review on it. Okay, and next one. Yiwawa. Hi, Minnie. Hello. I was wondering if there is a difference between the material of the Michael Kors Saffiano leather and the Prada leather. Absolutely. Saffiano leather is pretty much textured leather that is done by machine to be able to give it the cross hatch little texture to it, texture to it. And there is a big difference because Prada uses a higher end leather versus Michael Kors. I know there have been a lot of people that have actually said that the Saffiano leather for Prada, even then, is not as great as it should be. So obviously, between the two, Prada is better than Michael Kors. But people still talk about, like I said, the Saffiano leather and the quality of it, because it tends to what was it? What did I read the other day? I read that it starts to fall apart. I don't remember, to be honest, but yeah, there is no comparison between the two whatsoever. You guys know I'm not a big fan of Michael Kors handbags. I only really like the watches from the line, but yeah, major difference between them. Okay, Cat Lux Love 8811. I have a question about Empriente quality. I've heard the embossing will eventually flatten and soften out. Is that true? This is a great question. Yes, it will. Even with Louis Vuitton's Epi, when you first get Epi, it has those really, not rigid, but they're very pronounced textured lines, and over time it'll start to flatten out because it isn't leather. So Empriente will do the same thing, especially if it's a handbag that you tend to use a lot more. It will happen a little bit more quickly because it's, like I said, it's leather. It'll end up stretching out. It's not to the point where it'll flatten out so much that it'll just look like a piece of leather. It just won't be as deeply embossed as it is when you first purchase it, and that's just, like I said, because it's leather, it'll just wear that way. So I still think Empriente is a fantastic leather, and the quality of leather is magnificent. So I still think it's great, and if you're thinking about getting it, I would still definitely go for it. Okay, Saint Tropez for me. I've noticed that some of the people that ask questions have YouTube channels where they talk about luxury goods and pass off your answers as their own. Does that bother you? No, not really. I'm very honored that you guys ask questions and that you guys care what I have to say about these designer goods. I never thought in a million years someone would care what I have to say. So like I said, it's quite an honor, and I'm extremely blessed to have all of you guys in my life, especially for the avid Minks Monday watchers. So I am forever grateful for that. But also at the same token, if someone passes off my information on their YouTube channels, you know, it's going to happen. Like I said, we're in this community where we all like the same things, and if I can give someone a heads up about a product or a line or a designer, then and they incorporate that into their own YouTube channels, then so be it. It's, you know, it's just, I like to be able to share as much knowledge and as much information as I would like, and the fact that people incorporate that, like I said, into their own channels, that makes me happy. I would like to hear their own personal opinions on some of the things, but like I said, we're just one big, very happy community that I think any of us would help out any other one channel if we get the chance. So no, it doesn't bother me at all. Okay, and the very last question. Okay, so now that my battery died, let's finish with the very last question from Johnny Craig. 2 questions. Number 1, what do you think of the Alexander McQueen heroin bag? I kind of like it. I think it, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw that it retails for about $15.95 here in the States. It's a little bit of a different bag, and it has something that's kind of over the handle, which might make it a pain in the butt to get in and out of your bag, but I kind of fancy it. There's something about it. It's very different from anything else that's out there. Okay, and number 2, how do you feel that Louis Vuitton has lost control of the Damier Ebene print? For those of you that don't know, I think it was 6 weeks ago, I read something on the Huffington Post where Louis Vuitton will no longer have the rights or the trademark rights to Damier Ebene, and therefore they will no longer be able to hold anyone accountable as far as copyright infringement goes. I can't even talk. But it makes me sad. It makes me sad because it's the first print. It is what Louis Vuitton created, and it's bitter. It's not bittersweet. It's sad. It's just plain sad because it's what his first vision was. And even though most people, when they think of Louis Vuitton, they think of the monogram because, you know, it's the most popular print that's out there for the fashion house. The fact that the original print, Damier Ebene, will no longer have trademark rights for that magnificent fashion house it's like a slap in the face, because there's another designer out there who has a similar pattern, and Louis Vuitton can't do anything about it. They just have to stand back and watch his hard work, or obviously if he were still alive, his hard work just kind of be able to be thrown onto any other designer, any other fashion house, or any other item with that print. And it's not, yeah. It makes me sad. It makes me angry. It just, I don't know. I would think that out of all of the prints that they have, or the 3 prints that they have, that Damier Ebene would definitely be a trademark to the fashion house. And the fact that there's, like I said, no more copyright infringement that they can do on anyone else. Not because I think that that's what they should do, but, well, yeah. I mean, if you created it, you should definitely get all the credit in the world for making it. But it's sad to see, but it is what it is. But anyways, I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you, as I said, for all the wonderful questions. And if you guys are wondering what's the best way to be able to ask a question so it can be featured on a Minks Monday, if you ask a question on the most recent Minks Monday, it would that's pretty much how I take the questions. Anything that's asked in this week's Q&A will actually be answered the following week. So that's a great way to be able to, if you want to have it featured on a Minks Monday. If not, you can also direct message me on Instagram, and I can either answer you there, or you can ask the question for Minks Monday. But I know a lot of people have been asking how exactly they can do it, but that is how. But like I said before, I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And this week, what do I have this week for you guys? I have May favorites. I'm actually going to be filming that here in a second because I have some things I have to take care of, so I won't be able to do it exactly on Tuesday. And what else? On Wednesday, I think I might do my statement jewelry pieces, like my rings and my necklaces, but I might do a review on my Celine. I don't know. I haven't decided. But as always, you guys, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.